Hello, welcome back to FatherofTwo Plays Pillars of Eternity, Blind. Last time we took a bit of a beating in our fight against Merwald, and we are maimed. We have to be really careful from this point on, because I believe next they'll die.
Alright then.
So I'm not going to explore anymore down here. I'm going to head back up. And I figure I'll talk to that throne again, and see what happens. I'll zoom out a little bit here.
Aye, you're right. No sense listening to that old bampot.
Damned Virago, not now!
Who's Virago? I mean, seems to be the other personality that he's contending with in his own head. I hope we could get some camping supplies, or at least get a night's rest soon. Oh.
I felt Merwald's passing. You slew him.
1, he gave me no choice. 2, the old fool was barking mad. I did him a favor. Or 3, several of him. He gave me no choice.
It saddens me to hear it. But part of me is grateful to no longer have to wait and worry in darkness.
The steward is silent a moment. The air seems to chill.
This place has always known its master, long as it's had one. It has a will all its own, which has little to do with the castle and much to do with the land it's built on. It looks to you as Merwald's successor now, whether you care for it or not. A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed. But in the right hands it could be so much more. If you had only seen it in its day. Will you stay?
1, Merwald said that I must go to the City of Defiance in search of the Queen. 2, I've always wanted my own keep, even if it is a little cursed. Or 3, what do I want with a ruin? I'll go with 2, because I really have. You feel that same emanation of warmth and energy in the air. Then it's yours, my lord. I cannot begin to tell you how glad... That is, how good it is to know that the keep is in capable hands once again. Your stronghold is now available. You can manage your stronghold at any time through the castle icon. I suppose I should mention, first, that if you mean to travel to Defiance Bay for supplies, there has been a complication of a kind. The Eastern Barbican collapsed decades ago, and Merwald never got around to rebuilding it. The road here is a dead end. He got as far as gathering materials before he became preoccupied. I could make arrangements to have it repaired, if it is your will. When it ceased to be the previous master's will, I became powerless to do anything about it, for what am I but the master's instrument? It would take time, but far less than finding another route to Defiance Bay. Okay. 1, how do I repair the Barbican? 2, what does being the master of Caed Nua entail? 3, what did you mean when you said this keep was cursed? Or 4, leave, time to find this queen in the City of Defiance. Let's find out what it means to be the master of Caed Nua. Why, there are so many responsibilities involved in maintaining a keep. The extent to which you wish to get involved is entirely up to you, of course. Part of the reason I am here is to ensure things run smoothly in your absence, provided we have been given instruction. If you instruct me on which repairs you wish me to conduct next, I will make the necessary arrangements. These may take some time to finish, but each will provide you with additional resources once they are complete. Given somewhere to place them, we can hire tradesmen to provide you with supplies or ingredients. Repairing the keep will raise your prestige and draw both helpful individuals and unwelcome attention from bandits and opportunists. If we can raise the keep's security in turn, these will become less of a concern. You should know, however, that the position does not come without some risk. Your name will grow in fame, and you must contend with threats to the keep, and then there are other things. Was there anything else, my lord? What did you mean by risks? Yeah, let's go with that one. Merwald's curse was his own, a watcher's curse, but his predecessors have not fared better. There is a presence within the keep, or rather far beneath it. At least, such has been the conclusion drawn by all who have come to this place, for what spirits still linger in the endless paths oft speak of a master below. Every effort to settle here has failed from the time of our adherent colonists onwards. Beasts rise from the endless paths until the new lord or lady is no more. The one who dwells below, this master, does not tolerate rivals, it seems. I have seen, from time to time, intrepid explorers descend to lay claim to what answers they can, but none return. This is the force which has kept Kednua a barren ruin, and robbed me of my hopes. The endless paths, that, my friend, is where I must go. Where we must go, if you will go with me. Whatever devils lay beneath. Think, too, what knowledge we will find. Perhaps this master speaks a Durin. What are the endless paths? Who is this master below? Or 3, what am I? But, am I not the master of Kednua? Or 4, I have other questions. Let's ask about the master below. I could not say with any certainty. I believe it must be tied to the man said to have been the architect of the endless paths, the Angwithan tyrant Odd Nua. Some claim his spirit endures, or at least has laid a curse upon this site. I cannot imagine much remains of his work, for the ruins have been here 1,000 years or more, but what is left is impressive. The Earl certainly thought so. You may have seen, well below, the hand of the great statue Odd Nua constructed. Perhaps it is a statue of Odd Nua himself. What are the endless paths? Pardon me. The endless paths of Odd Nua, that is the name given to the labyrinth beneath the keep. The Earl, we were warned by the Glanfathans that this site was cursed, and there is a legend attached to it, though at the time we thought nothing of it. The ruins were built, it is said, by a powerful Angwethan named Odd Nua, who ruled there until his people turned against him. They destroyed his endless paths and filled many of the upper tunnels in with soil and stone. No one living knows how far down the tunnels stretch, and few who have ventured there have returned. There is much talk of riches and treasure. The promise of Angwithan relics alone has drawn many fortune-seekers. To their deaths, I fear. But am I not the master of Kednua? Of course you are. The keep would have no other. But the endless paths are a different thing entirely. It is unfortunate, really, that they are so closely entwined. If the master below is not dealt with, there will always be a threat to the keep from within. I know it is much to take in, but if you would remain, if you would be lord of this place, then I can only advise you to seek out this foe before it destroys you. I have other questions. How do I repair the Barbican? Merwald set aside materials for the Barbican, and they are still available to you. In the future, if you wish to make further repairs to the keep, we will need coin for supplies and labor. Okay, we'll leave. You must know, this queen you're looking for, Defiance Bay, has no queen. The Mequins of Edir haven't reigned here since the war. The only queen with any power there is Wodica. I am told they erected an exquisite temple in her honor there, but I was never able to see it. We gained experience. If you mean to go there, we can get started right away on repairing the Barbican. You need only tell me what you wish to do. I'll make the necessary arrangements. Merwald kept a ledger as it happens, and I have taken the liberty of updating it. You can take a look if you wish. Sure, let me see what repairs I can make. Then we'll get underway at once. The steward's voice bellies a giddy excitement. Know, my lord, that this is but the first and least of a great many undertakings. The keep supported a great many buildings and servants for many years. If you should wish it, we could repair some of the outlying structures, and these will bring you wealth and recognition. Drawing people to your service, rebuilding the defenses will keep your grounds from becoming overrun, as they did under Master Merwald's keeping. You need not choose all at once. I am pledged to your aid, and so long as you are master here, we shall always be linked. You need not step upon these grounds to speak with me. Wherever your travels may take you, you can make your will known to me, if you but reach out. Oh, but first, of course, the Barbican. That's really cool. I'm super, super excited by this facet of the game. Upgrades to your stronghold cost money and take time to complete. Each upgrade can add security or prestige to the stronghold, or add additional functionality like resting bonuses, periodic free crafting ingredients, or new stores. Oh, it'd be nice to be able to rest here. Wow. Whoa. And is this everything we could do, or events? Nothing new to report. Things to build. Oh, recruit hirelings. Okay. And this is our party. Okay. Then let's build the Barbican. Bright Hollow Restoration. Restoring Bright Hollow will allow you to rest here. Other upgrades can unlock resting bonuses for it. Yeah. It'll take 2 days, but yes. We definitely want that. Anything else we can do? It all just costs money and... What? What are these locks? Hirelings help defend your stronghold from expensive collateral damage in the unfortunate event of an attack. They cost money to maintain, but their cost usually offsets the potential for damage. Hirelings also contribute to the security and prestige of the stronghold, sometimes negatively. Huh. That's pretty cool. Oh, prestige. +2 miscellaneous, +1 upgrades. What's this? Upgrade. Oh, so once we have 4 upgrades, then we could get that. I see. So, let's take a little look here. The Western Barbican. Oh, so we could put a gate in there. Main keep. We need more upgrades. Upgrading the main keep will repair your Great Hall, allowing visitors and adventures to be available to you and your companions. That sounds really good. Let's not take too much of a look at this right now, because we can't afford it. Cool. F5 is quick save, correct? Yes. Never far from the Queen. Let's take a look at our quests. So this is done, because it's grayed out, yes. So, the Master below, explore the endless paths. If I intend to settle in this stronghold, it is likely I will have to contend with the Master below. My steward has urged me to descend into the endless paths and seek out the enemy, so that Cadnua will finally know peace. I guess I should have read this top part first. My new steward has informed me that long ago, a powerful Anguithan constructed a labyrinthine dungeon underneath Cadnua, now known as the Endless Paths of Odnua. Odnua was killed by the people of his time for his deeds, but the steward claims that a powerful force still dwells within the ruins. Whenever someone attempts to take possession of Cadnua, this Master below stirs awake and sends forth a flood of monsters to reclaim it. If I do not deal with this sinister presence, I may eventually share the same fate as the Edarans, who tried to claim this land long ago. That music, that theme from that music reminds me a little bit of Lord of the Rings, like the very, very beginning music. In the movies, I mean, obviously. Time and Tide. So, that's about Kanarua, our friend there. Merwold was too far gone to give us answers. We will have to navigate the ruins. So, we already did that. Trials of Durance, spend time traveling with him. I met a strange priest in Magred's Fork who claims we have something to gain from questioning one another. Or questioning one another. Durrance says he and I are meant to travel together and that we could teach one another. He is a man of many words who seems to raise more questions than he answers, but if I travel the road long enough with him, perhaps I may discover something worth learning. Okay, and we know these other ones. We could return with that shipment.
Hey.
Let's give a quick look for things we can talk about. Yeah, we've got nothing new to ask him here.
It makes two of us. What's on your mind?
Let's keep moving. So let's try this guy.
Poor
Kana.
Marigold. He couldn't contend with all that he knew of himself. A cruel fate.
1, it may be my fate too. 2, he was weak. I won't end up the same way. 3, I don't think knowledge was the problem. He said that if I could find out what caused this, it might help me. 4, maybe it's better to stay ignorant of some things. Or 5, never mind, let's go. I don't think knowledge was the problem. He said that if I could find out what caused this, it might help me. That is true, and there's no such thing, in my experience, as too much knowledge. Kana smiles. Come, we will find your answers, and mine, I hope.
Hey.
Oh, we got more people to talk to. Can't talk to her, because she's a character I created. Could talk to Aloth and see what happens. Okay, well, nothing more to say with him, and I don't think Durrance wants to talk until we rest. I need you to leave. No,
Hey.
I need you to stay, like, big time I need that, so I won't say I need you to leave. So, we're gonna head back before we set out again to adventure. I don't know if we'll have to travel back through the Black Meadows and such, or if we can now just travel straight to where we're going and possibly get jumped along the way.
Bit to slick your breeches, scholar lad.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. I said nothing.
Cool interactions. Okay. Wait, where am I? Okay, so why can't I go further south? I guess I just can't. Oh, and I put it in slow mode. Fast mode? Okay. How do I go to normal mode? Okay, there we go. Why is it not letting me scroll all of a sudden? That's kind of annoying. Press enter. Oh, I must have hit enter or something. What's with that? No command or script named hello exists. I don't know what that's about. Scripts or commands that I can enter like that, but that's kind of cool. Okay, I'm really worried that on the way back we're gonna get jumped and, like, Eder and Kana are gonna get killed. I don't have any... No, I don't have any heals. So, let's have them both switch to ranged weapons, for certain. Maybe we should have him equip the halberd. Since we have it anyway. Let's see. Oh, wrong character. Doesn't matter. And we'll switch to this for now. That's what I want. Yes, it is.
Following your lead.
Thank you, Kana. So, let's see. Can we just go... Take you 1 day to get to Gilded Vale. Yeah, we'll accept. Please don't get attacked on the way. That would be best for the whole party. We might have to run if we do.
I think it may be time to strike up camp.
I agree. Oh, what did I keep hitting, Oh, I see. I think I'm hitting tab, but I'm using a new keyboard. I think I'm hitting tab, but I'm pressing, I don't know, squiggly dash? I don't know what that key is called. Squiggly dash. And it seems to give me those command prompts. Well, I'm glad we made it back. I was a little worried. We're fairly short on supplies. But we got a cool new sword. That's for sure. So, could we make it deeper in the dungeon, you think?
Hey.
The dungeon that's here? I think we should go do some other things first, and then tackle that after. I'd like a room, please. Certainly, you're always welcome. Common room. Well, it costs us nothing to get a common room. I guess it's kind of like a hostel. +2 resolve, +1 mechanics and perception. We don't have a lot of money, so let's just get the common room. Looks comfortable enough. I know it's always the same. It's the same little animation.
Well met, friend.
Let's see what you have for sale. So, camping supplies? Yes. I would like 2. Please. And do we have anything we want to trade? Sure, why not? I don't know, maybe it's worth more to the other guy, actually, so let's hang on to it for now. Rod, wand, okay.
Hey.
Right, I hit it again. There we go, that's tab. So we have supplies. Again. And we've rested, so we're doing pretty good there. I was very worried there for a while. Now, it's the guy who runs this store over here that, we wanted to... Where exactly is the store? Not Ingrid's house. Yeah, the Black Hammer. He wanted us to retrieve the supplies, and we did, but he lost his men to bandits. The tombstone icon indicates a memorial. Oh, I think they're from Kickstarter backers. Who are you? Just a commoner. Keep hitting that key all the time. There we go. I'll get used to this keyboard yet. Okay, Tautano. Oh.
Gods keep you.
Ah, you're back. Anything I can help you with? Hand over the crate. I found that shipment you were waiting on. Tautanu reaches out to take the crate, raising it effortlessly onto the counter. His face splits in a broad smile. Why, so you have. This is excellent news. We could finally get back to work and show you real Black Hammer quality, none of these flimsy little swords. We got an item, or lost an item. We gained 1,200 experience, and 2,500 total. Here, I'll give you a taste. He ducks beyond the counter, and rises with a heavy wooden shield in hand. Might not have had much in the way of materials to work with, but it's still Black Hammer craftsmanship. You go on and take that. We gained a larder door. Okay. And there, some coin for your troubles, too. His pleased expression dims. Did you find anyone with the wagon? Gained 100 copper. 1, bandits overtook the wagon. I doubt your people survived. 2, I guess they didn't feel iron was worth dying over. Well, I think it's 1, so we'll go with that. Tautanu shakes his head, running a hand over his bald pate? I don't know that word. Poor fools. Always told them they ought to hire some guards instead of palming the extra coin. He sighs. I'll have to hire on more hands. Don't suppose you want to settle in Gilded Vale? Try some delivery work. He smiles thinly. You have my thanks for your assistance, friend. Give me some time to work the forge, and you'll have your pick of the next run of weapons. Cool.
How do you do?
Tautanu gives you a broad smile. Always good to see a friendly face. I hope the Vale is doing kindly by you. We've made good use of those supplies you brought us. Some of my best work. You ever wanted to see our special stock, you just say the word. I'd like to see your wares, please. Of course. I'm sure you'll find something to your liking. Okay, so he's got some fine weapons. As well as these other ones he had before. Oh, maybe he didn't have that. I can't remember now. Fine saber, fine rapier, fine warhammer. I was looking for a fine bow. We have a fine bow, though, I think. Or some type of slightly better than average bow. Fine medium heater. We have, what was it called? The something door? Cellar door. Fine mail armor. This is all quite expensive. A breastplate. Should we get that for Adair? Damage reduction 8. And what's his... I guess we can't look at it right now. Or is it... Yeah, no, we can't. So... Oh, there's the larder door. Oops, I didn't want to trade that, but I do want to trade some of this stuff from my stash. I think I'll only keep this fine e-stock for now. Oh no, we have one already, though. Oops. Was that a special one? Did it have a special name? No, Whispers of Yenwood equipped. Okay. Anything else in here we want to sell? Yeah. A fair amount of it, actually. Cloaks and stuff. I mean, we'll sell one of those. I might like to hang on to kind of one of everything for now. And... I don't know if I need to hang on to books or anything like that. Ladrana's orders. And we don't want to sell any of that, so let's trade all of that for now. And, we'll get out of here. Okay, so I kind of want to head back to one of the places I had been to earlier. Then we might rest up on our way back through town. Oh, hello. What is happening now? Kolsk. Hold, sir, but a moment. A hooded man waits upon the road. Clad in a green cloak, he strides forward to meet you as you approach, and at a closer distance his features are revealed for those of a younger man, though lined with wariness. He appears to be favoring his left leg as he walks, and there's a dark stain upon the fabric of his trousers under the knee. Even so, he greets you with a polite bow. I imagine Tautanu was very grateful for the return of his supplies. He is a good smith, a good man at that, beholden to a cruel master, but a good man. Gilded Vale is full of such people who deserve better than to watch their home descend into fear and madness. He turns to look out over the village. I aim to save them, and I want to ask your help in doing so. One is, what is it you would want me to do? Or two, who are you? I'm more interested in what he wants. The man nods, standing a little straighter. It's a grim task that I ask of you, but I assure you there is no other option. Lord Redrick must be stopped. Too long has Gilded Vale suffered under Redrick's madness. He would cure Waidwin's legacy by ensuring there are none alive in the village to be afflicted. I fear his own wife, Ygritte, may be at risk. The man has no mercy in him. We have not stood idle. My people and I breached the defenses, intent on ending Redrick's rule ourselves. We entered through the sewers, under the cover of night, but we were routed. His face darkens. There are dark creatures down there in the dungeons, the work of Redrick's Animancer. It falls to you. Lord Redrick has called for further reinforcements, and soon there will be no stopping him. Our time grows short, and in this hour I must beg assistance where I can. He's gonna owe us more than some rubble-strewn plot of land after this. Fling him from the ramparts, or else cut his head from his shoulders. I care not. Once his throne lies empty, Gilded Vale will have the stewardship it deserves. Who are you? I'd rather not get involved. Or I will find Redrick and deal with him. We'll go with, who are you? Only a man determined to see Gilded Vale restored to its former glory. There was a time, stranger, when Gilded Vale was worthy of its name. The crops gleamed like gold, and the village's people lived well. I don't know about the gold crops, but there were less flies anyway. And what has become of it now? Whatever has caused the blight upon our lands, it is not the fault of its people. Redrick looks to punish us for the crimes we have not committed, and in turn, he is blind to his own. I am not, and he will pay for what he has done. I swear it by the flames. Okay. I will find Redrick and deal with him. I don't know if I want to kill him, but we'll see. Then I commend you on your courage and thank you for your assistance, but I would not send you onward without due warning. Redrick's hold is crawling with soldiers and sellswords, all loyal to Redrick. They will not take kindly to intruders. In truth, they will be all the more alert for our failed efforts. A frontal assault would be unwise. If you would brave it, you could follow our footsteps, seek out the entrance to the sewers at the eastern edge of the moat. He looks away. But several of my men were captured, and maybe the entrance has been found and sealed anew. Those men were under my command. I would be in your debt if you found some means of helping them. Once you make it inside, seek out my old friend Nedmar. He is the high priest, Baratheon, now that the shining god has fallen. A good man, in difficult circumstances, he will listen to reason. Durrance chortles, nearly choking on his own disdain. Shining god? He never shone so brightly as the womb took him, or as the bomb took him. The moniker is obsolete now. Ash does not shine. It is like if someone was to call you the attractive priest, Durrance. It's like if someone was to call you the I get it. I said it a little wrong. Nedmar can help you reach Redrick, but he resides in the upper level of Redrick's hold, protected by guards and mercenaries. You will have to keep to the shadows if you mean to reach him without alarming the entire keep. 1. Very well, I'm off. 2. Thank you for the advice, I'll make good use of it. 3. I'll carve my own path through, more fun that way. 4. No sense in wasting resources if it isn't necessary. I'll keep your advice in mind. Yeah, I'll go with number 4. No sense in wasting resources if it isn't necessary. Spoken like a tactician. Keep your wits about you, and I'm sure you will prove the victor. You will find Redrick's hold to the east, past the eastern wood. I await word of your success. Very interesting. Now, is he like a young noble or something? Oh, I hit that key again. There we go. So I still want to go explore that one little map where there was a bear, and I think there was also a place to climb. I'd like to check it out. Interesting. So we have some... Oh, maybe we could talk to our friends again here.
What?
I need you to leave. I have questions I wanted to ask you.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
I wanted to ask about the religion and its history. Durrance grunts. Ugh. Do you know anything of Deerwood and the surrounding nations? Tell me about the Saints' War. What is the Godhammer? Let's ask that one. What is the Godhammer?
Gods have taken flesh, in all respects, taking willing and unwilling vessels. It's not a violation. It's what gods do, as long as they accept all that comes with it. Men are weak. Gods? Well, we showed old Icewind that he was flesh and blood, no matter how much light was pouring out of his farmer's hands. Took men of faith to build a weapon, a Godhammer. Judgment. Proved him dead at Halgot Citadel.
It was a weapon of Deerwood's people, their independence. There are few that would deny the Athos overstepped. The Godhammer reminded Athos of this, or Aethus, a fire and force so terrifying, so bright, it burned a god away. Durrance holds his staff, and his hands lock around it, tracing the etchings. As you watch, the top of the staff blossoms, burning brightly, and Durrance speaks, his face illuminated in the fire. A weapon that would burn brighter than Aethus, and we led him to it and burned him at the stake. The stake was the Godhammer, and we impaled him on it. Who fashioned it? You said you fashioned it. We'll go with number 2, because he did say that. Durrance nods. Wasn't easy. Shaping it, crafting it. The pieces, the curve of the relic. Even then it was a massive thing. Something that required a god to come to it, rather than be cast at him. Though luring him to it, that was the easy part. Gods are prideful. 1, what happened? 2, I wanted to ask about the region and its history. Okay, let's go with 1. We led him to the fields, ones that he remembered as a farmer perhaps, the fields right outside Holgut's citadel. Durrance frowns. Now, Godhammer Citadel. It was right across the Evendur Bridge. An easy trek, Durrance frowns. Men died, then more died, luring Aethus onto Evendur. We had carved veins and paths through the bridge. Excavating the foundations filled them with powder and ember-hungry grains eager to burn. Our hands had even pried the mortar and rock loose, sharpening them to points, so they might be rent from the foundation easier and tear through the flesh of that pretender. One, and so you used Evendur against Aethus. 2, I wanted to ask you, okay, let's keep asking about this.
We poured the God Hammer into its foundations with faith. Set it alight. Let the hammer fall, upwards onto the anvil. 8 died before the God Hammer fell, and the God Hammer claimed the remainder. 12 in all.
So the God Hammer was a bridge that was made into a bomb? And Aethus went back to Ether, or the grave, Durrance grunts. He's lost his voice and his love of war. I'll tell you that much, he sneers. It took only taunts by men, and that was enough to lure him across the bridge and right into the new sun. Durrance straightens his back, draws a deep breath. It let Red Sarah see how bright their arrogance had become, and became a symbol by which we answered their purge with one of our own. Purges?
We started saving the Aothasians from themselves, burning any that didn't die with their god. Heresy in Red Ceres is one thing. Heresy here in the Deerwood comes with a more personal touch.
Durrance becomes grimmer, his face setting. So it seems like him and Adair would be enemies naturally. 1, seems just. A wounded enemy is still dangerous. 2, so you just answered their crime with one of your own. 3, if you fight an enemy long enough, you become them. 4, why the purges? The other 2 are just get us to different, dialect. So you just answered their crimes with one of your own.
Every Aothasian who still lives in the Deerwood puts the nation at risk. Is another dagger held to the throat of our faith. Root them out, burn them, or send them back to Red Ceres to wallow in the blood of their failure.
I wanted to ask you about the region and its history. What do you know, or do you know anything of the Deerwood and the surrounding nations? Deerwood's the best of them, still has spirit, if a land can have one. It's a place where a man can walk freely. Enemy even make new roads, and that's a rare thing in this world. Its generations, however, are damned, so no new footfalls may spell an end to it. Do you mean the Hollowborn? Yes, Aethus' last stab at revenge after he was ended. Durrance frowns. Aethus was the god of rebirth, and his light does not fall on the Deerwood. I've heard some claim it's his doing, his death. It closes the halls to new souls. He scoffs. I don't believe it. The problem is closer than that, and as always it involves women and men. They are always circling, within and without, the Valian republics, Red Ceres, the Saints' War, one big bladed spiral, shredding everything around it. How do you feel about the Valian republics? Durrance snorts. Fortune seekers garbed in robes of office, manipulators, traitors, and traitors, all. Don't hold them in high regard. Or what about Red Ceres? Yeah, let's go with number 3. Don't hold them in high regard. Durrance grunts. Any country so obsessed with style might as well be wearing scarves over their eyes. Keep vigilant, or they'll turn you into slaves as soon as ink dries on the trade treaty. The Deerwood and all its internal riches is too tempting, especially if someone else tames the country and the face painters for them. Face painters? Durrance waves his hand dismissively. Tribes, Glenfithins, cluster around the ruins like flies. What about Raedceres? Durrance's face flushes, and a sheen of sweat forms on his brow. Too many adjectives to that so-called nation. Civil unrest, economic collapse, all tinder, just needing the right spark. Some farmer shows up, takes a god into himself, and then takes a crown on his head. This divine kingdom he tries to set up goes about as well as you'd expect. A tiny trickle of sweat runs down the side of Durrance's cheek and sinks into his beard. Suddenly, the population of heretics goes up by about half again, and Aethys starts turning his blood-stained gaze to every blasphemer he can find. Cleaning house is one way to put it. His face darkens and his eyes narrow. Purge is another. Put them and their god in their place, though, with enough force to kill that damned country, too. Not a supporter of the country of Raedceres? Yeah, we'll go with that. Aloth passes by casually, muttering under his breath, Surely you know where this is going by now. It's not a country. It's a gathering of cowards, idiot puppets. They used to be an optimistic bunch, a bright bunch. Durrance laughs at bright as if a private joke. What's their undoing? Should have embraced the misery without letting a farmer lead them to a brighter ruin. Almost Aethys' puppet, too, put an end to that. They dangled on his strings, Wyaedwin dangled on theirs. They would never have had any success on the battlefield had not their god come down. The Saints' War, Durrance snarls. Needed to call on their god to have a chance. Tell me about the Saints' War. Durrance's eyebrows draw together in a frown, and then he grunts. Keep forgetting your feet are new to the Deerwood. The Saints' War.
It wasn't a war. It was a god stepping past himself. The country of Raedceres and all their heathens. They're paying for it now. Although by my count, the fire should have roared through their country with more force, catching all their souls. Truth, it wasn't even a war. It was a cautionary tale about pride. Specifically, Wyaedwin's pride. He should have stayed a farmer.
What happened? Was what? 15, 16 years ago. 2807? Durrance pauses, then shakes his head and shrugs. My memories are back with a younger me. I don't hold on to dates. I hold on to actions and causes. The war was an act of arrogance, born straight from the Raedceres' twitching legs. A man thinking himself more than a man, Durrance snorts. Want to kill someone? Tell him a god speaks through him. Then tell him he means him to lead, which puts him at the front of an army, and the army was as strong as you'd expect for Raedceres, as sick as the country was to begin with, yet a war was likely just what they needed. What was wrong with the country? Raedceres has its share of troubles. It deserves all of them. It deserves Wyaedwin. He was the light that led them to the flame. Raedceres was in decline, Edda poison already eating its veins. Economic bleeding, the dying of their faith. Durrance frowns. Then, Wyaedwin, this farmer, claims to take up Aethys in the flesh and gives them the worst kind of hope. What happened then? They crown him! Durrance taps his head, making a slight bow with his face, and when his face turns back to you, he's wearing a feral smile. They make him king, the worst kind of blasphemy, and once he wears the crown on his head and the god in his flesh, why, he starts making changes. Divine changes, Durrance's eyes blaze. Then he decides he's going to change us. Save us. How? He marched on the Deerwood to free us from our beliefs like he freed the other souls in Raedceres. Cold Morn offers up its belly with no resistance, and it's spared, Durrance snarls. The bloodshed starts when he sacks Mercy Vale, touch of irony that puts it to the flame. Cold Morn? Durin spits, snarls. Pff, cowards and Cold Morn! It's an apt name for them. They lay still, frozen, while their fellows burned. They'll pay Magrin's price one day for such cowardice. What did Aethys do next? Aethys keeps marching. Dirwin takes to the trees, cutting at his flanks, his scouts, his troops. It seemed near hopeless. Durin's face becomes grim. Then he smiles again. Until Halgut's citadel, the Godhammer. There, we put 'em to the flame, burned the god out of them. If there was ever one to begin with, dozen brave men and women take to the bridge, make a stand, then we torched him there with the fire of the Godhammer. I wanted to ask about the region and its history. Do you have the whale's eyes painted on your skin? There's more mysteries than questions, and even a marching force of answers won't placate you. Even soldiers need to let their thoughts settle, just as the priests do. Huh, okay, well,
Hey.
good conversation, man. I guess we'll pick up and talk more to our party next time. So until then, if you enjoyed it, please leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. This is Father of Two, signing off.